Okay. So, let's have a talk about what this show has become this week. Because basic premise of this show is we generate a random anime through means that we have devised, and whatever anime comes up, we watch an episode. Just try it out, see what it's like.
Sometimes we get really great picks that have lots of culture behind them, like that. What was it, Aoi Bungaku, the one with those based off the literature.
Yep.
Sometimes we get some really funny series that have some endearing elements to them.
Sometimes we get porn. Straight up fucking porn. Okay? So, what we had to do is watch an episode of cartoon porn, and now we have to talk about it on the internet. Okay? That's where we are right now. I don't think anyone, besides Weasel, are actually happy about this turn of events.
I was having a good week. Like everything was going my way, and I sit down Monday afternoon after working for like 12 straight hours. So I might as well watch this random anime that we have to do for tomorrow. Get it out of the way,
Yeah.
How about we just go straight to the synopsis, go over it, and then just let's make this the shortest Anime Reflux episode to date. All in favor?
I know that's what you want. That's not what's going to happen.
It's not, no.
I'm sorry.
Such a great birthday present for me.
Yes,
Okay.
Happy birthday, Weasel. In serious.
It was still completely random. Happy birthday, Weasel.
Happy
It's
birthday
still-
to me. My present is Schadenfreude.
Okay.
You.
It's the greatest present of all, I have to admit. Okay, so...
Well, one last thing. I did say this before we started, but legitimate credit to Patient for actually sitting through this shit. I wanted to give up. And
apparently
I know
Patient watched it.
Yeah, Patient has a lot less tolerance for this kind of shit than we do. So,
But I have a lot more patience.
yeah. So, 100% credit to Patient. I literally gave him a slow golf clap for fucking doing it before we started.
I double
props to
speeded.
Patient.
I double speeded through parts, or even... Okay, so...
I had to
you
look
showed-
away at parts.
So this week we're watching...
Patient, you showed a strength that most people don't have.
This week we were watching Valkyrie Drive Mermaid.
No,
And
Valkyrie Drive Mermaid.
Yeah, that's
That
how you
doesn't
pronounce
matter.
that.
That
You
doesn't-
don't
that-
say colon.
Yeah, no, if you want to say colon, be my guest, I mean, people will look at you funny and you may be judged, but you can do it. So Valkyrie Drive Mermaid is basically, we start off with a girl getting fired in a missile at an island. And so this girl is your red-haired virgin girl. They make a big deal of, yeah, virgin, haha, your name's read as virgin, ha, you virgin.
Which totally should have set off flags right there.
Yeah.
And, I mean, just the camera angles alone in the first 2 minutes, I think are pretty obvious. But, so basically this girl has some sort of thing special with her medically or something or other. And so she's sent off to this island, grabbed during the middle of PE by these men in black suits, and yeah. They're like, okay, we gotta send out these knights that are nearby. And I'm like, oh, cool, high-tech thing. It's gonna be a superpower or something. Fight the thing. This is pretty generic. And so they go and they show the two nearby knights. And they are sunbathing. And look at these camera angles. Are you seeing these camera angles?
Splicey in.
The commander or whatever of this secret group is like, hey, we got a new one, an unknown. Go test out, see what she's made of. And they're like, okay. And so they go over there. and they meet her, and they're like, "Oh, hey, your shirt says virgin."
I feel we should clarify. It's a gym shirt, so it has her name on it.
I know it's a gym shirt, so they should know that it's a gym shirt. But whatever. And so then one of the girls starts, engaging in some fellatio with.
No,
That's not what that word means.
That's not what. Yeah.
Sorry.
dear God.
Okay,
I'm
let me try that again. There's some lots and lots of groping going on.
Yeah. It's getting her all ready. They start all of a sudden. No.
Basting the turkey.
Okay. So this is what the powers are based on in this series. Some
Zero
girls
cannot do this point.
Yeah, some girls can, are good at wielding weapons for whatever reason. About half. The other half can turn into weapons.
Yes, did we mention that this is not only porn, but lesbian porn?
Yes.
No, we did not.
We did not, no. The entire cast is
virus
female. I don't think we've seen a single male character.
The virus that causes the people to be able to do this only affects women.
Okay, Weasel. You are literally the only person, quite possibly in existence, that cares that much about the plot of this goddamn show.
I actually saw the entire thing a while back.
Okay, so see, the thing is, that setting exists solely for the porn aspect of it.
Yeah.
So there's no use talking about it in a serious sort of tone.
Long story short, you figure
not trying
the
to be
weapon
serious.
girls, they turn into a weapon. That's your long story short for the entire powers of the series.
You get them aroused and they turn into a weapon. And so the one night girl turns the other night girl into a big gun, and then she proceeds to fire, I guess. Well, actually, no, we get another girl that comes in from another missile, and she lands, and then this big, tall, blonde girl is protecting the small, red-haired girl, and why? I don't know. You don't know. It'll probably be revealed later, I guess. I don't know. And so then why am I the one talking about
I don't
this?
know.
Yes, we told
volunteered.
you don't have to. You don't know, or you shouldn't be talking about this.
So, the blonde girl's protecting the redhead girl. They jump about a bit. There's some accidental groping that probably happens, and that turns the redhead girl into a weapon.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what kind of weapon it was.
It's a powerful sword.
Oh, cool. Of course it was.
Of course it was a sword. Don't you know the main girl always turns into a sword?
No, because people usually don't turn into weapons. So that's a rule.
There's only one other thing I could think of besides obviously Soul Eater is Guilty Crown, in which the main girl is this gigantic sword. The guy has the power to basically pull the souls out of people and turn them into weapons, but that's actually way better executed. Go watch Guilty Crown, don't watch this.
So, then fighting happens, and basically Blonde Girl uses Sword Girl to tear the other... Well, turns the weapon girl into a regular girl again and rips both of their swimsuits off.
Because why the fuck not?
With just a little bit protecting the nether region, because you can't show that on TV. If this was even on TV, I don't know. I think that might just be international law, or not international, but that might just be the law for Japan and stuff, unless it's like actual hardcore porn.
There is no international law when it comes to anime.
Yeah, I have no idea, and frankly, I don't care. So...
we were watching Casey slowly lose his mind over this episode.
But I don't.
No, it's not that he's losing his mind. It's like if he was gonna watch porn, you just watch porn.
Yeah,
And then
this is a stupid middle ground where they have all of the lack of plot and interesting characters of porn, but don't actually replace it with decent porn. So
yeah. So to just kind of I guess, speed through the next part because none of this really matters.
It's
there's
literally
some-
just them walking through a forest, and redhead girl is scared of snakes, so she gets back carried. They find a castle. They go into the castle. There's a brief flashback scene
Have fun storming the castle.
Yeah, okay. There's a flashback scene of inside the castle where there's a bunch of schoolgirls, and there's like a military-type person, and they're like, hey, 2 new ones have showed up, and those girls that we sent at them didn't really do anything because they suck. Okay, good to know. We'll deal with them when they get here.
Send out the A rank, see how good they are. Also, the schoolgirls are going to start taking bets on who's going to win between the A rank and the new girls.
Yep.
And also, there's apparently some sort of intruder or invader in the castle who does something but actually does nothing and then runs away.
That was the girl that was taking bets because she was listening in on the thing about the...
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was skipping through this at this point because I really didn't care.
Yeah, I wish I'd skipped through the next bit. Alright, so our protagonists go into the castle and they get boxed into an arena in the center of the foyer. And they are suddenly surrounded on the balconies by an army of schoolgirls in school uniforms. And then sadist and masochist girls show up inside the arena and... stuff happened.
The main character is like, how could you be doing this to her? And she's like, what? I'm doing it because she wants me to. She's a masochist. This is how she gets
She's
off.
a hardcore masochist. And then she transforms into a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, okay, we're going to run around. And then the one tall blonde girl's going to kiss the small girl. And then she's going to turn into a sword. And then they're going to battle. And,
I think you missed out some very important details, like the sexual assault, but yes.
Yeah, there was that too. Don't worry about that. This is just an anime. And also, so they won immediately because they're the strongest.
Yeah, so they win the fight, and
We're the best.
yay. And
Hurrah!
redhead girl
Who's
turns
ever
back
gonna keep you
into
down?
redhead girl, and then all of the hundreds of schoolgirls that just witnessed her sexual assault make fun of her for having virgin written on her shirt. This is a classy show.
So, yeah. So the thing about this show is that unless you're here for the porn, there's no reason to be here.
It's not even that good porn.
It's not like you could find better porn. Like it's not that hard, really. I mean, you can get it hard, but it's not that hard.
Oh god, Zero.
And so, like, you can go out and look for better. Like, you don't have to waste your time with this unless this is like a really specific kink or fetish you have.
And even then,
I don't know. Even then, there's probably better places to look. The
Yeah,
setting's
Zero pretty much nailed it on the head there. Pardon me for phrasing, god damn it.
Yeah, I know, right? The setting's boring. The characters are boring. The blonde girl only says 2 lines in the entire thing. One of which is no. And there's the visual effects and the animation are lazy. Like, there's a whole part where the girl's shooting her gun at the other couple, and, like, you just see that visual effect of the bullets overlaid over the footage. There's no bullets hitting the sand behind them. There's no actual... It's just so...
I don't know whether to give Zero credit for paying that much attention to the porn, or judge him for it. I'm kind of in the middle on this one.
I mean, it's clear at this point that he was trying to not watch the porn.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Also,
look at the visual effects of the battle.
Technically, yes, it is also our job to actually pay attention and analyze, in this case, the porn. So, yeah, Zero, good sticking to it.
Let's not call it...
Again, apologies for the phrasing. Alright.
Let's not call it Valkyrie Drive Mermaid. Let's instead just call it the porn.
That's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing, yeah.
I'm not naming this.
It doesn't deserve a name.
You earn your name.
Sorry, what? Zero? Okay, Zero's chopping out. Weasel.
Hey.
You like the show. Why do you
Overall.
like the show?
Well, later. Okay, so how do I explain this? I wasn't really paying attention to the porn. For one thing, it's not really my kind of porn. I'm not really into Yuri.
I
was instead.
guess I zoned out for a bit, or like my voice went out for a bit.
It did.
Yeah.
Weasel's
We
talking.
can hear you now.
What patient?
Weasel is saying things.
Go.
It's not really my kind of porn. What I was actually, I heard it was from the same guy who made Senran Kagura, so I watched it to see what kind of train wreck it would be. Because there was actually quite a bit of fanfare leading up to the release of this anime. Notably the fact that in the promotional materials, they listed all the girls' measurements and the weight of their boobs.
Why was there fanfare for this?
I don't.
Mostly
Okay.
like, what the fuck is this fanfare?
Okay. So here's the thing. That's really stupid.
How much the character's boobs weigh? Yes, it is.
That's so incredibly stupid, and I just can't. I
So
can't
I
do it.
watched it just to see what kind of bullshit would come out of this. I wanted to see the train wreck this would be. So I watched it and ended up watching the entire show. It actually has a definitive conclusion that implies there could be a second season, but it won't be what this first season was about. Or if they do have a continuation, it'll probably tie in with the other two Valkyrie Drive series. One of them being the video game I mentioned. So if you can get past the porn, you actually get a series that actually has some pretty good world building. You actually feel for the characters and want to see their situation improve. Because when it comes down to it, these characters, they were given the raw end of the stick. And did I just combine two phrases?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes, and they were given the raw end of the stick. Wink, wink. Nice.
Screw you.
There are no sticks here.
I know.
These
That's why they're given the raw end.
These characters were given a raw deal, and they're just trying to make the best of what they have and hoping that it changes. And you feel for that kind of situation. You want to see their situation improve.
So here's the thing. From what I've seen so far, everything about the setting is something I've seen before and done better in other things. The characters as well have nothing stand outish about them to make me... Like, the girl has that one scene where, her mother's crying because there's something wrong with her daughter. But then we find out it's probably just the whole weapon thing, and so it's not even a big deal.
It's a virus that's been going around, and whenever they find someone who has this virus, they send them out to a remote location and quarantine them because they're afraid that people who can turn other people into weapons and fight with them will cause a rebellion.
Here's the thing. Weasel, you just said a lot of things that are positive, like, hey, good characters and setting and such and such and such and such. After watching the first episode, I straight up don't believe you. Like,
Yeah.
I kind of trust your opinions on some stuff. Like,
Since when?
I wouldn't just dismiss it out of hand just completely, but after watching this, I cannot believe for a single second that anything you just said is true.
Yeah. And also, like, the idea of you have to get past the porn to watch this, like, the porn is part of the setting. It's part of the world building. The porn is literally built into this, and it's to the point where if you want to take the series as a whole, you have to kind of take in that porn aspect, and it has to be done
as a whole.
Yeah, I know, I know, I know,
guess-
and you gotta take it.
I guess part of it is that the
You gotta
porn didn't
take
really do anything for it.
Yeah. The point is, you if you ignore that aspect of it, then the other parts don't make as much sense, and if you do, it's a badly done part in the first place. And in order to actually feel for the characters, they need to be characters in the first place, and from what I've seen, they don't seem very much like characters and more like roles of what those characters should be. So,
Yeah, just later on, the characters get some good development and characterization. It's the first episode, so they're more establishing the concept of the series rather than the characters in the story.
I've seen some really well done. I've seen some really well done first episodes of anime. This does not bode well.
Yeah, they're getting the fan service out there, and they're establishing the concept because that's what they want to sell the series. But once they realize that the fan service is going to get old for a bit, they do start focusing on characterization and development.
See, this is very weird because usually I'm in the spot where I'm like, this series gets really good later on if you keep watching. And now I'm on the side of that fence, and I'm like, no, I don't want to watch more.
I guess part of why I could enjoy this is that it's just not my kind of fan service.
As for me, I'm not particularly fond of fan service of the sexual sort to begin with.
Yeah, there is non-sexual fan service out there, like a big dramatic entrance. That can be fan service.
Yes, I know. That's why I said the non-sexual sort.
Yeah, I know. I was just explaining.
Okay, so I think... Does anyone else have anything else to say about this terrible porn?
I'll say something. I mean, I can hardly think of anything good to say right off the bat, but I'm prepared to believe, Weasel, that it can get better. But the problem is I just can't look past the pornographic stuff. So I don't think that any amount of good story could make me watch the rest of this. I might be wrong. Maybe I'll look up how the plot goes later on and see if that is somehow enough to sway me and look back at more of it. But presently, there was nothing really that stood out to me as something that I'd be interested enough in the series to come back to. Except maybe the mysterious nature of that woman who was protecting her. Just mute character, the big mysterious protector that's...
Not mute. Can talk, but very quiet, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like Patient and Zero said, this is such porn that looking past that seems silly. It does.
And I do want to say, any series that goes on long enough will eventually have some form of character development, whether the series is good or bad. That's up to perspective and sometimes objective quality, but every series that goes on long enough will have that character development. So I don't doubt that you've seen these characters develop and you've seen there's more to these characters. But we're not given enough from the get-go to really endear us to these characters, except for the fact that there's porn. So, I think that speaks more of the priorities of the show than anything else.
Hey, it's just worth it to see you guys uncomfortable in saying the word porn over and over again.
I mean, I wasn't uncomfortable. It's just
No, I'm fine with it.
bored.
So,
Hey guys, say porn again.
no,
Porn.
roll 'em.
Wrong.
All right, let's do this, gentlemen.
I think I ended up like having that thing where I couldn't hear anybody. So for me, it was like a long pause.
Oh, and Kenshi, fair warning,
Yeah.
Kenshi. If you say 17, you're going to regret it.
I don't know what that means.
Lie.
I didn't
Is that
draw.
Q?
Let me
that
draw. Let me draw. Shut up. If it happens, it happens. Let me be a man about this. 25.
Yes, 17 is
20.
Q.
25?
25.
Why?
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 Yu Yu Hakusho.
Listen, why we just watch that? I don't need to watch Yu Yu Hakusho. I watch the whole thing religiously every year.
35.
That's a good way to live.
All right, let's see. Out of 35, we get
That was a Yokai Watch anime.
the magical number 16. We're not watching that.
The winner... Wait a second, didn't we already do Yokai Watch?
No, we did.
think so, no.
No, we didn't do that.
Oh, okay. just something similar. Yokai Watch.
Wait,
Oh,
what? That's
it
what
is?
we actually got?
Yeah.
Damn it!
Oh, my
Man, I
birthday
called
thought
it. Okay.
So Yokai Watch is the not good Pokemon.
Yeah, it's basically
Schadenfreude-
cut down kitty version of Pokemon with
Schadenfreude
Yeah.
and Casey's Joy is my birthday present.
Why
It
are
was
you
like-
why are you happy about this?
because you're suffering.
It was like Yokai Watch is gonna be the new Pokemon, and then they released Sun and Moon, and then Yokai Watch sucked. And yeah, I have very strong feelings against Yokai Watch, so
Vito,
this might be interesting. Yeah, I would veto this.
Okay, that's 2.
and just
That's-
2 apparently.
That's a very pregnant pause right there. So looks
Wow.
like we're doing. Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't really have an opinion either way. If you guys don't want to watch it, then fine.
Listen,
I mean, downgraded to just another Pokemon XP, I'd be willing to veto that, but it's not something that I'd hate to watch. So,
here's the
all
thing
depends
for
on-
you, patient. Here's the
Pardon?
thing for you. Here's the thing for you. We just got through watching porn. This is like kind of the opposite end of the extreme. You feel safe here, and that's okay. Okay. That is just fine. I just hate this because it's going to bore me.
I don't want to do this because I will be very negative. I will be.
It's
I will
fair
not give
warning.
this a fair.
Fair
I'm too
warning.
biased against it.
Yeah, probably the next episode is just going to be me and Zero shitting on this and throwing Pokemon references in the whole time.
So even Digimon did it better.
Casey, is Schadenfreude the only reason you want to keep this and not veto it?
No, I mean, I was curious about the games. Like, you can say Pokemon knockoff, fine, okay, but that's also a genre. So,
It's true.
yeah, I'd give it a shot. Like, Giant Bomb, like the games, like, they found them interesting. I've seen some of the designs for the yokai, and they're creepy and weird, but in a good way. So,
90% of the designs are recolors.
Yeah, fair enough. Alright, like I said, I don't really mind watching it. Just not something I would have watched completely of my own volition. But I'm willing to watch it, of course. So, next week's episode is going to be on Yokai Watch. And if one thing can be said, it's going to be better than this week.
we don't know that.
Yep.
It's just not porn. That's all we know.
Yeah.
And that's
All we
all
know-
I need to know.
Okay. Well, next week we'll do Yokai Watch, and we'll talk about how, hey, yokai are behind all your problems, really. You don't have to deal with your problems because there are yokai out there.
blue, 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 blue. It's not
Well-
Pokemon. Blue, 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 blue.
I just have some problems with the actual setting of the whole series, and that kind of upsets me, so.
Is that supposed to be Zero?
Well, all I know is that I'm glad it didn't land on 31 or 32, because both of those have Yuri in the title.
I
Is
think
one of them
is one of them's Yuri on Ice.
Ice?
That's not what
Yeah.
that is. That's just
Yeah,
his
Yuri
name.
on Ice is apparently a really well loved ice skating anime that was supported
Yeah,
by professional ice skaters.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yuri
so I
on
jumped-
Ice is because it is Yuri. It's because the guy's name is Yuri.
Yeah, a Russian name. Right?
Yeah, I've heard that before. Okay, so I was just jumping to conclusion. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's all right. I made the same mistake until I actually heard anything about the show.
Yeah, a lot of professional ice skaters like that, but we're not going to be doing that. We're going to be doing Yokai Watch.
Well,
Yeah,
Oh,
Zero's getting
we
on
could do-
board.
I'm
can do-
going to die.
We could do Yuri on Ice someday, I'm sure.
Probably.
Every
I'm
time we do
probably-
one of these, I feel my soul leave my body a little bit more.
Zero's pain is my happiness.
Oh,
Future happiness.
I'll show you some pain.
Right then, Casey,
Okay.
take us out of here.
So, yeah, thanks for listening to us discussing porn for half an hour.
Thanks for listening to the Porncast.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.